You said to someone in answer to a question how you'd like to be remembered, and you mentioned the Anacostia Project. Why is that so important?
Because I think that I think part of your job as mayor is you're the chief art director of your city. You're in all these different roles. You're also the art director. You have to envision what is the signature of your city. So for example, an example of a signature of the city is I look at the city, what am I looking at and how do I look at it, okay? How do I appreciate this city? I appreciate the city in the neighborhoods. You know, I appreciate the city as, for example, in the downtown and the sense of how I feel in the downtown. I realize a city example would be if I drive down Market Street or Michigan Avenue in Chicago, that's an example of a great street epitomizing the city. Waterfront is an example of something that epitomizes the city. In Washington, D.C., Pennsylvania Avenue example of a street that epitomizes Washington, D.C. The waterfront, though, not so much, you know what I mean? Because it's not the kind of dynamic, active waterfront that you think of in a great city. You think of the Thames River. You think of when you come in on a plane in New York, and they may have discontinued it, but remember you used to fly into LaGuardia, you would fly down the Hudson River and make that turn and then come back into LaGuardia. That was an incomparable signature view of a city and the waterfront of the city. So I'm saying to myself, how do we create the same excitement and dynamic expression of a waterfront for Washington, D.C.? That's number one. And number two, how can we do this in a way that creates an economic engine that, number three, spills over with benefit for what is actually some of the poorest parts of the city, so that number, I don't know where I am now, 4 or 5, we're actually using this initiative to unite the city. I actually think that this is a much better way over time to powerfully unite the city than having a big conference and everybody talk about how we're divided and we're going to have a task force, and then what are we going to do? We're going to do a task force that's going to actually do something. So why don't we just start doing it? That's my attitude.